long before history learned to record itself. Before pyramids rose,
A natural spring flowed steadily in the Jordan Valley.
Surrounded by desert and harsh terrain, this spring, known today as es-Sultan,
Human beings noticed it, gathered around it, and slowly, unknowingly, began something that would change the world forever.
this place would come to be known as Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city on Earth.
Around 11,000 years ago, near the end of the last ice age, small groups of hunter-gatherers began settling near this spring.
They were not kings or warriors. They were ordinary people searching for food, safety, and stability.
But what made Jericho extraordinary was not who these people were. It was what they decided to do.
Instead of moving on with the seasons, they stayed.
They built simple circular homes from mud and straw. They buried their dead beneath their floors. They learned to store food.
In doing so, they crossed a threshold humanity had never crossed before. They chose permanence.
As generations passed, Jericho grew. Fields were cultivated. Barley and wheat were harvested.
Tools became more sophisticated. Society became organized. And then, something astonishing happened.
Around 8000 BCE, the people of Jericho built a massive stone wall and a towering structure rising more than 8 meters high. This tower, carved from stone with an internal staircase, is the earliest known monumental structure built by humans.
At a time when most of the world still lived in temporary shelters, Jericho was already thinking in stone.
Why did they build this wall and tower?
Archaeologists still debate the answer.
Some believe it was for defense. Others think it protected the city from floods. Some argue it had religious or ceremonial meaning, aligned with the movement of the sun and the seasons. Whatever the reason, one truth is undeniable. This was no longer a simple settlement. Jericho had become a true city, organized, communal, and forward-thinking.
Time passed, and Jericho did not disappear as many early settlements did. It forming the mound we now call es-Sultan. Each layer tells a story of destruction and rebirth.
Earthquakes shook the city. Fires burned it. Enemies attacked it. Yet again and again, people returned to this same place.
Drawn by the water, the land, and the memory of life.
By the Bronze Age, Jericho became a fortified Canaanite city. It was surrounded by thick walls.
And the city played a role in regional politics and commerce. Pottery, tools, and luxury goods.
Jericho was no longer isolated. It was part of a growing network of civilizations across the Near East.
It is during this period that Jericho enters one of the most famous stories ever told. In the Hebrew Bible,
The Israelites marched around the cities for 7 days.
Revealed that the massive walls often associated with the biblical story were destroyed centuries earlier, likely due to natural disasters such as earthquakes.
This does not erase the power of the story, it deepens it. Jericho exists at the intersection.
it reminds us that history is not just what happened, but how humanity remembers and interprets what happened.
As centuries turned into millennia, Jericho continued its long journey through time. Empires came.
Herod the Great built winter palaces nearby, complete with gardens, pools, and intricate architecture.
Jericho also became deeply significant to multiple religions. In Christian tradition, it is
where he is said to have fasted for 40 days. Monasteries cling to the cliffs above the city, overlooking the ancient land below. Through the medieval period, Ottoman rule, and into the modern era, Jericho never vanished. While many ancient cities became ruins,
Jericho remained alive. Today, it is one of the lowest cities on Earth, lying more than 250 meters below sea level.
Modern homes, markets, and streets exist alongside some of the oldest human remains ever discovered.
In 2023, UNESCO officially recognized es-Sultan as a World Heritage Site.
Jericho is not just old, it is foundational. It represents the moment humanity chose
Jericho teaches us something profound. Civilization did not begin with empires or writing. It began with people gathering around water, choosing to stay, choosing to build, choosing to remember. Every city on Earth today, in some way,
traces its origins back to that decision made here thousands of years ago.
As the sun sets over the Jordan Valley and shadows stretch across the ancient stones, while empires collapsed and histories were rewritten, this city continued to breathe. It stands as a reminder that human resilience is older than history itself.
This is Jericho, and this is where civilization began.
Memory over forgetting.